In March 2021, I left my hometown of Hamburg, Germany, and flew down to the island of Gran Canaria off the coast of Africa. There, I boarded one of the few cruise ships in the world cruising right now with passengers, the TUI MeinSchiff 2. On March 12th, we left the port of Las Palmas, and after a sea day, we cruised to the island of Lanzarote. I boarded a bus with a bunch of other curious cruisers early in the morning, and they drove us 2,000 feet above sea level to one of the highest points on the island, and from there, we hiked all the way back down. This is what it was like. When we reached the starting point and the bus pulled over to let us out, we were literally in the clouds. I'm not sure if I've ever seen fog that intense before. Almost getting run over here because it's so foggy that you can't see if there's cars coming or not. At the starting point, our group was split up into two groups and we began the hike. At first, we were actually going even further uphill, and it was on rocky roads, through stony fields, and a lot more fog. But it didn't stay that way the whole time. The guide was just telling us that it's not usually this green here. Usually there's almost no rain at all. It's a desert climate. And because they got rain in November, all of a sudden there's these green patches which are very non-typical for the island. This totally reminds me of Pandora in Animal Kingdom. Look at these plants. Lanzarote is known as the Island of Eternal Spring because the temperature usually stays between 61 and 77 degrees Fahrenheit the entire year long. Also, it's one of the sunniest places on Earth. They usually don't get more than 16 days of rain a year. And of course, it was cloudy the morning that we got up to the top, but the sun came out later. This all used to be like more volcano. You can see, you know, the cliff didn't like grow up like that. There used to be more land here and it all like crumbled down into the ocean and created this beach area down there. And you can kind of see the remains on the other side. I've never been to Hawaii, but I imagine that this is what it looks like, but just with more green, like more palm trees and vegetation, right? One of the island's famous exports used to be the red dye made from the cochineal, which are these tiny little lice, they call them, living on the island's prickly pears. For a long time, all the red colors in lipstick, blushes, food colorings were made from these bugs. However, our guide told us that that industry has all but died out on the island now that the trend has moved to animal-free products. Another export of the island is the famous goat cheese and goat milk. However, there's a big problem with the farming industry on the island altogether because none of the young people born into the industry want to continue the family business, and they all move to the bigger islands or to the mainland. And within a few years, there may be no agricultural industry left at all. Maybe it's a good time to move to Lanzarote and start up a farm. Sun's out, guns out, and I am now walking through the valley of 1,000 palms. Let's count them, shall we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I'm just kidding. But it would be a fun thing to complain about afterwards, right? Be like, I want to talk to the manager of Lanzarote. They said this was a valley of 1,000 palms and I only counted 928. Allergies, anyone? Allergies?
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know, if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. Say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down.
The buses were waiting for us back down in the valley, and then we drove across the island to visit the Cuevo de los Verdes, which is a cave system made up of lava tubes. It's time to see a cave.
Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know, if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down.
That was a great way to spend the afternoon and the morning, and now, that feels good. I think I said it before, I can imagine that that's what it feels like when you're a woman and you're wearing a really tight bra and you're hot and sweaty, like you've been out, you know, doing something and hot and sweaty, and then you get to take it off at the end of the day. I imagine that the feeling of relief is somewhat similar. I'm just gonna quickly regroup here in the cabin and go up to the buffet. Excuse me. Or should I go to the healthy restaurant again? Maybe I'll check out the buffet today. Anyways, I need to get something to eat soon because I kind of have a headache. I don't know if it was from the elevation or maybe the 1.5 beers I drank last night. I don't know, but it's time to get some food in my tummy. We have some vegetable lasagna here, some couscous. This is interesting. It is a cucumber and tofu ragu. And this is some really tasty green pesto. This is for all the people who complain that I never show any meat. There's a big chunk of roast beef for you. And just in case I happen to burn off any extra calories in that hike today, I'm gonna replace them with this gigantic ice cream explosion. We have some mint syrup in there, some after eight gelato, some chocolate gelato, some chocolate syrup, and whipped cream. And I brought it back down here to the cabin because I have to charge my phone. It's about to die. So if anybody's looking for me, I'll be out here on my balcony with this ice cream. And after that, I am so taking a nap. It's a late night, cocktail cam, and I'm already lying in bed. I am. Yes, I spit rhymes, and my face is shiny. Somebody bring me some powder. As mentioned, I'm already here in bed, and shh, listen. Shh, listen. Do you hear that? It's the ocean. I'm doing something I very rarely do, and I have the balcony door open. It's probably like 66, 67 degrees outside, so maybe like 16, 17 degrees centigrade. And I don't know, I just felt like listening to the ocean tonight. If you follow me on Instagram, you know my cocktail of choice tonight was a margarita, and it was nice just sitting there having some drinks, listening to the band. And also I met some of you, some of my German friends came up to say hi to me tonight, so thank you very much. And you know, that's something I wanted to say is, and I mean, it's all relative because of course it's been a while since this has happened, but when I am on a cruise or when I'm at Disney, those are probably two of the most popular situations where this occurs. Very often I have people write to me on Facebook or Instagram saying, oh, we saw you today in the buffet, or we saw you today in the line for whatever, and we really wanted to say hi, or we really wanted to get a picture, but we didn't want to bother you. And I just want to say, you won't be bothering me. Say hi. I'm a nice person, I'm friendly, and I don't bite unless that's what you want, but that costs extra. My face looks so different from this angle, doesn't it? Anyways, today was just such a special day. Like I mentioned, when I'm on a ship, if there's something like a water park or a theme park or something really, I don't know, like traditional touristy, that tends to always be what I will be interested in. But what I did today is something that, like, if there had been a water park or a theme park or something like that on the itinerary, I definitely would have picked that over hiking down a volcano. But I'm so glad that there wasn't, because it was so cool today. This pillow is too squishy. And I'm really curious to see how this video is going to perform, because traditionally videos about stuff like this, just for whatever reason, don't get a lot of clicks on my channel. But I hope that a lot of people are interested in it, and I hope that it helps a lot of people, either because they might be interested in coming here or just because they want to be entertained. Facelift. And now it's time to go to bed. It's probably close to 11 p.m., which is not really that late for cruising. And actually tomorrow's a sea day, and the next day we're going to be on Tenerife, which is another Canary island. And Tenerife is famous for for a lot of things, but two of these really typical touristy things, like I was just mentioning. One of them is Siam Park, which is one of the biggest, coolest, water parks in the world. Like, bigger than Typhoon Lagoon, bigger than Blizzard Beach. but unfortunately that's closed. However, there is like an aquatic zoo like SeaWorld called Laurel Park. And Laurel Park, you may have heard of it if you've seen the controversial documentary Blackfish. And Laurel Park is offering like an exclusive tour just for people on this cruise because technically they're closed. And I know that a lot of people get critical when I or other people visit places like SeaWorld or like zoos, but for me, the opportunity to get like an exclusive tour in a really small group of a tourist attraction like this, I just am really interested in it, and so that's what I'm gonna do. So before I post that video, please let me know in the comments below if just what you think about it, and if you've seen Blackfish and what you thought about that. And I'm looking forward to seeing it and bringing that video to you as well. And then you can either be entertained by it, educated, or criticize me. Anyways, I'm gonna go to sleep now. See you soon. I don't know why, but I just never would have expected a zoo or like, yeah, animal theme park of this quality here. And then I'm like the only person here. Excuse me.